Hey guys, welcome back to Shortcuts to Success, where I, Randy Vieru, share with you how to achieve professional baker's recipes. Today's recipe is inspired by the overripened bananas that I have in my house, which is what got me to do this recipe. These are things that I'm sure are around your home that you don't have to go out and get. This is a great recipe, especially now that the kids are back to school. This is awesome for a nice little afternoon snack or as a dessert for lunch or dinner time. So if this is something that you're interested in, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you are notified whenever I drop a new video. Without further ado, here are the ingredients and the recipe to follow. While my oven is preheating, I'm going to prepare my bananas and also chop up my toppings. I'm just cutting the bananas with my hands to make it easier to smash. And here you can use a potato smasher or you can use a fork. And using a vegetable smasher, it makes things a lot faster. Now I'm just going to chop my chocolates and my nuts. And here the chocolate that I'm using is a mix of these Ghirardelli chocolates. I can put the link down below if you guys would be interested in getting these. You can get them singles or you can get the dozen, and I'll have the affiliate link below. These are really good to bake with, and they're also very easy to get from the store. So that's why I choose to use these, and then I can buy multiple of these and just keep them and use them whenever I have a recipe. And I'm just doing a rough chop. Just be careful. And you can also use chocolate chips for this. It's just that the chocolate chips tend to have an anti-melting agent added to them so that they can keep their shapes. And these actually melt beautifully into the recipe. So that's why I like to use the squares instead of the chocolate chips. But you are more than welcome to use the chocolate chips. And I don't want to chop them up too small. I still want to be able to see them and taste them as I eat it. Now for my walnuts. For this, you can use different types of nuts. It is all up to you. Just like the chocolate, if you want something a little bit sweeter, you can use all milk chocolate. If you want something a little bit bitter, obviously you can use bittersweet or you can use dark chocolate. I did a mix of all three, just for some added flavor and some depth to the recipe. But definitely make it with things that you like. So if you prefer pecans or hazelnuts or cashew, you can use those as well. So now that my prep is done, I'm going to be prepping my baking pan. And for this, all I'm using is the melted butter that I'll be using in the recipe. I used a full stick of butter, that way I could use some of it to coat my pan. So all you do is just brush the bottom and then up to the sides. This will ensure that your banana bread does not stick. Then I'm going to take my parchment and lay it down. And this is also going to help to pull out your banana bread. So you want to make sure that you have some space at the top here. So this is what your pan should look like. Now that our prep is ready, we're going to combine our dry ingredients. And then we're just going to whisk it all together so that it's nice and combined. And now we're going to mix our wet ingredients together. And here we're using sour cream because this is what I had at home, but you're more than welcome to use buttermilk, or you can also use some Greek yogurt. You want something tangy that's going to make your recipe nice and moist. And here I just want to break my egg yolks just a little bit before adding them to the rest of my wet ingredients. So we're just mixing our eggs into the other wet ingredients. And now I'm going to add my melted cooled butter. you want to make sure that your butter is cooled before adding it to the rest of your recipe, or you risk cooking your eggs. You see, it looks a lot better than what we started with. Now that our wet ingredients are ready, we're going to add them into our dry ingredients. And now we're going to carefully mix and make sure that we don't overmix. And what I'm doing is I am turning my bowl this way and I am going with my spatula the opposite way. So one is holding the bowl and one is holding the spatula. And you just go around. And I'm not gonna count and tell you you need 27 turns. It's just you want something that's going to be nice and uniform. And when you are almost mixed in, you're going to add about 2/3 of your nuts and 2/3 of your chocolate. And the reason why we want to add it now is so that we don't overmix our batter and make it like a block or brick. And we leave the rest so that we can use it as a topping. So we're gonna keep mixing. I'm so tempted to just like put my hands in there, but I will not. I will be good. All right, so we want to make sure that we don't see any more flour. And this is a thicker batter, so do not be afraid. So this looks perfect. Actually, we still have some flour at the bottom, so we just want to incorporate that. Now that our batter is ready, we're going to pour it into our baking dish. And because our batter is on the thicker side, we want to make sure that we push it around and then we flatten it out. And don't worry if you see that your pan is like halfway full, because with the eggs and the baking soda that we have in our recipe, it's going to help our banana bread actually lift and plump up, and it's going to be beautiful. And what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to mix these two just because I want it to be a little bit more uniform. It's going to be chocolate and walnut. And then I'm just going to spread it around the top. And also this is optional. So if you don't want to add any chocolate, or if you have someone with a nut allergy, you don't have to add those things. It's just that I'm not the biggest fan of banana, believe it or not. So I like to add things to mask the taste. And this is the way that I found best for me. So if you have any allergies, or if you don't necessarily want chocolate, one, you should not follow this page. I'm just kidding. But also you don't have to put this in here. So you can just mix the dry ingredients and mix the wet ingredients and then put it into the oven. Our banana bread is ready to go into the oven at 350 degrees for about 15 minutes to an hour. So we're just going to check on it after 45 minutes with a skewer. And if our skewer comes back out clean, then it is ready to go. And if not, then we'll just add time until it does. There you have it, guys, my amazing chocolate nutty banana bread. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, please make sure to like this video and share it with other people that you think might enjoy it. I love making this recipe. I don't always buy bananas, but when I do, I always end up having overripened bananas, and so I always end up making banana bread, or I freeze my bananas. That way, when I am in a mood for banana bread, then I can whip up this recipe. This banana bread is best enjoyed the next day, but it's pretty delicious, nice and warm. So you want to let it cool once it's out of the oven. Using those flops that we had hanging, you want to take it out, have it on a wire rack for about 30 minutes, and then you can cut into it and eat it, and it is absolutely delicious. In the description below, I'll have a list of affiliate links of all the utensils that I used today, and I'll also have the recipe in case you want to jot it down or print it out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.